I knew the day would come when my wedding planning would hit a snag. I just didn't think it would be over a dress. "You must wear this gown, my mother-in-law," Margaret said, holding up a monstrosity that looked like it had been dug out of a 1980s bridal catalog. Puffy sleeves, layers of lace, and a train so long it could mop the church floor. It was the kind of dress that could swallow a person whole and still have room for dessert. I blinked at her, unsure whether to laugh or cry. "Oh, wow. It's something." Margaret beamed. "Isn't it? This is a family heirloom. I wore it, my mother wore it, and now you can carry on the tradition." Tradition. Right. My idea of a wedding dress was something sleek and modern, something that said, "I'm getting married," and not "I'm auditioning for a Shakespearean tragedy." But here I was, facing the woman who raised the love of my life, and she looked like a kid on Christmas morning. "I appreciate the sentiment," I said carefully, but I already had a dress in mind. Something a little more me. Margaret's smile faltered. "But this dress is very special. It's a symbol of our family. Don't you want to be part of the family?" That was a trap. A trap as big and complicated as that dress. I wasn't going to fall into it. I decided to buy myself some time. How about we give it a try? Maybe I'll love it once it's on. Margaret's eyes lit up. Yes, you'll see. It's perfect." Fast forward to the fitting day. I stood in front of the mirror, engulfed in ruffles and lace, while Margaret circled me like a proud hawk admiring its prey. The sleeves were puffier than I remembered, and the lace itched in ways I didn't know were possible. I turned to the side. I didn't need a bouquet. I needed a life jacket. This dress could sink the Titanic. Margaret clapped her hands. "Oh, darling, you look stunning." I wanted to tell her I felt like a human marshmallow, but I bit my tongue. "I think it's a little much for me." "Nonsense. You'll be the most beautiful bride." The worst part? My fiancé, Ben, came in, took one look, and his face split into a huge grin. "Wow, babe. You look big." "Thanks," I muttered, glaring at him. That's exactly the look I was going for. Cue the big idea. After a few sleepless nights thinking about how to handle the gown dilemma, inspiration struck. What if I could keep Margaret happy and wear the dress I wanted? I had to get creative. A little compromise, a little magic. I called up Margaret the next day. "Margaret, I've been thinking. What if we use your dress for the church ceremony, and then I switch to something more modern for the reception?" Margaret paused. "Two dresses? Yeah, it's becoming a trend. Classic for the vows, and modern for the party. I'd still wear the family dress and honor tradition, but I could also have a bit of myself in there too." I held my breath. After a long pause, she replied, "That actually sounds like a wonderful idea. Victory!" I almost did a happy dance right there. The big day. When the wedding day arrived, I walked down the aisle in the marshmallow gown, Margaret beaming in the front row. I endured the layers of lace for the ceremony, smiled through the itchy sleeves, and promised to love Ben forever while quietly plotting my escape from the dress. As soon as the ceremony was over, I bolted into the bridal suite and switched into my sleek, modern gown. The transformation was magical. I finally felt like myself. And when I stepped into the reception, Margaret's eyes lit up again. "Oh, darling, you look stunning," she said. And this time I agreed. "Thank you, Margaret." In the end, I wore the family heirloom for the ceremony, and I got my dream dress for the party. Margaret was thrilled, and I was comfortable. We both got exactly what we wanted. A gown for the ceremony and a gown for the reception. Kind of like a mullet, business in the front, party in the back. As Ben twirled me around the dance floor, I whispered to him, "See? Told you I'd make it work." He grinned. "You always do."